with this review because I didn't go to see it in theaters, and you know, I had people left and right telling me you absolutely have to see it. Critics said virtually nothing bad about the movie, you know, and I mean, it wasn't that I didn't want to see it, it's just I just haven't gotten around to it until now. The Quiet Place. Oh my God, I just finished watching that movie about 5 minutes ago on Google Play. Jesus Christ, dude. What a fucking awesome movie. I mean, it's almost unfair to call it a horror film. It is a horror film. I mean, it's horrific. There are monsters in it and shit. But what really shines through about this movie is the suspense. This movie is fucking suspenseful, masterful. And the thing is, the genius is its originality. The whole concept of there are these things that have super fucking hearing, and if you make the slightest fucking sound, they can hear you from like a mile away, and they will come running and they will kill you like that. So it's like, here you have the setup for a movie based around this family where there is virtually no dialogue. There is very, very little dialogue in this film. As far as that is concerned, the movie shines in two particular ways, okay? Number one, the actual like craft of the filmmaking. The actors were great. Even though the dialogue was extremely minimal, I felt like a part of their family. I felt like I knew them personally. And the direction was brilliant and suspenseful. Just such a creative, original idea. And it's such a great way to like set up a scare. Because when you're used to the silence and you're following these people around, you're like, okay, they gotta be quiet and stuff like that. Somebody like fucking, you know, stubs their toe on a chair and you're like, and like, I'm not one to like go to theaters and like start screaming shit out, you know, at the screen, but I would have at least been murmuring to myself in the theater, because watching it on my own like television at home, I found myself being like, oh, dude, Jesus, no. Oh, no, man, you can't be sitting. No. Like, seriously, there is one sequence in, like, I'd say it's just like a little past the halfway point in this movie that is like so fucking intense. It like had me so on the edge of my fucking seat that I, you know, I mean, like, oh God, it was really, really just masterful. I mean, I'm not going to talk about specifics, because if there's anybody out there who is a mutant like me and didn't see this in theaters, like, guys, it is everything that the critics have said and more. Another thing about this movie that was really good was the creatures, and that they don't have an origin and don't need one within the context of this film. They're just there. They could be a fucking scientific experiment gone wrong. They could be alien. They could be some sort of ancient subterranean species that came up from the ground. I mean, they could be anything. There is no explanation for what they are. They just are. This concept reminds me of an issue of House of Secrets. It's actually issue number 92, the first appearance of Swamp Thing. And not in a likeness at all. This movie doesn't resemble that comic book. It's just sort of like a theory about how to scare people and stuff. And there was this story about this guy, he gets into an altercation, and like the other dude shoots him, and as he's lying on the floor dying, he beckons for the dude to come closer, and he leans in, and he basically says, like, look into my eyes, take a glimpse into, like, you know, what lies beyond death. And the guy looks into his eyes and just starts screaming, and the comic ends with this guy like going to the nut house, and he just won't stop screaming because he saw whatever's waiting for us, and it just fucking drove him insane. And at the end of that story, the creepy ass narrator sitting in the graveyard basically says, perhaps some mysteries are better left unsolved. Well, I would agree with that, particularly in the case of this film. Sometimes less is more. What a cool movie. What a clever idea. Oh my God.